God, it's over. The election is over.
No, I'm going to say that.
Let's hope.
Not yet, 10 seconds.
Precisely. There's a reason.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, just like that, the polls have closed. 7 o'clock, and I'd like to call the Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020 City of Oldsmar City Council meeting to order. Please rise. The next two items on the agenda is our invocation and pledge of allegiance, which will be led by our city attorney, Mr. Tom Trask.
Our Heavenly Father, send down your blessing on this meeting of the City Council and upon the individual members who comprise it. Give the council members a clear sense of duty and lead them to a faithful discharge of the same. Direct them in their deliberations at this meeting so that all things may be done for the health, safety, and welfare of the people of Oldsmar. This we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Thank you. A little election night humor to start things off. Very good. All right. Before we get started, I just wanted to make a comment to all of our guests in the audience. We are asking, as it relates to the CDC guidelines, that if you're sitting, keep your mask on, please, while you're in here. And if you come up to speak, because you'll be social distance out, feel free to take it off. We're going to keep ours off for the most part up here, by comfort, because we're spread out, not because we don't like each other most of the time. Anyway. All right. With that, the next item on the agenda is the Citizens Open Forum. But before I do that, I would like to recognize former Mayor Doug Beavis, who is in the audience, and he'll be representing the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber as their Director of Business and Governmental Affairs. So welcome, Mayor. All right. Is there anybody on this side of the room who has any comments? Seeing none, is there anybody on this side of the room? With that, I'm going to go ahead and close the Citizens Open Forum. And if you haven't noticed, watch out. There's a train going down the track tonight. Next item on the agenda is the Community Minute, which will be announced by our City Clerk, Ann Nixon.
Yes, the Veterans Day ceremony will be held virtually on Wednesday, November 11th at 11 o'clock. The event will be on the city's Facebook page and YouTube channel. This year's keynote speaker is David Bear, Oldsmar VFW Post 12186 Commander. Sunset Sounds Concert Series, free concert featuring classic rock music with the Brother Brownlow Band on Friday, October 13th, Friday the 13th, 7 to 9 p.m. at Ari Olds Park. There's a maximum of 8 people per group, and the golf cart parking is available. And I'm hearing jingle bells already. Santa visit registrations have started for the annual Santa visit drawing. Drop off or mail a 3x5 card to Fire Rescue by Friday, November 13th for your chance to have Santa drive by and deliver presents to your children. For more information on these and anything, visit myoldsmar.com. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, approval of addition of new agenda items. And we have item 3, which has been added to the printed agenda. I would also like to add under the Community Redevelopment Agency section, item 1.1, consider letter of development interest from Woodfield Development. I'd also like to add under the City Attorney section, item 9.1, authorize City Attorney to draft a code amendment changing the zoning map amendment application requirements. The chair will entertain that approval in the way of a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion
All right.
for
Do I have
approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Next item on the agenda is my privilege to recognize, I'm going to come down here for this. Got the mic already? Very quiet in here tonight.
It is.
All of our visitors are watching election results already. I don't know. So as most of you know, that from time to time, every quarter, we give out our business of the quarter. And we really recognize businesses in cooperation with the Chamber of Commerce for a multitude of different reasons. Sometimes there might be something very specific. that they've done that deserves recognition. And other times, it might be because it's a business that is really kind of one of the founders of the city because they've been here a long time. And tonight, we have the privilege to recognize MI Metals in Oldsmar. And I would like to call up Brooke Massey, who is the owner, to come on up. Give him a round of applause. Sir, how are you? Good, good. All right, well, let me give a little background. MI Metals was founded here in Oldsmar back in 1983. When they first set up shop, they had just a few pieces of equipment. They do the extrusion for aluminum products, right? And so by coincidence, we went there this past month, which, by the way, that was a coincidence. It wasn't a setup, just so you know that. And we went there and visited them, and I have to tell you, it's an extremely impressive operation. But so when the plant first set up back in '83, do you know how many employees there was when it first opened up?
Oh, probably 20 or 30.
20 or 30, all right. All right, so let me fast forward to 1998 when they expanded their capabilities when they opened another plant in Georgia that included a new aluminum extrusion press and a 20-foot electrostatic paint line. The next year, they were on the move. They acquired another company called Better Built, a manufacturer of aluminum vinyl windows and doors that had two manufacturing facilities, one in Tennessee, one in Arizona. In the acquisition included another extrusion press and electrostatic paint line at each of the manufacturing facilities. So as you can see, the capacity starts growing. 2001, the operation built extrusion equipment included in Better Built acquisition came under the management of MI, so they made that switch over. You know, you kind of do the acquisition and let it sit there for a little while. So now they grow to 5 presses, 3 paint lines, 1 iodizing line. Let's see. And end up with a plant in Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and now in Prescott Valley, Arizona then, right? So today, fast forward, let's see, what's it, 37 years? 37 years. They now have 85 full-time employees here in Oldsmar, and they produce approximately 16 million pounds of aluminum annually. And it's kind of interesting because we were talking when we were over there about how they were managing with the pandemic. And because, you know, listen, everybody's world changed. And this to me is a mark of a great company. But most of you probably have noticed on the news when these locations were setting up with tents popping up all over the country where they were doing testing out in the field. Many of those tents, aluminum framing, were made right here in Oldsmar and sent all over.
No kidding.
So they were part of the solution. Part of the solution. And I'll tell you a little quick story. So in 2013, I want to get my facts right here. All right, so when Brooke first joined the company, he had just got his MBA from the University of South Florida. He joined the company. He started at MI Metals as a controller. He eventually then became the plant manager, and later he became the president of the company. And then one day, back in 2013, he was out traveling at, I think, another plant, and then he got the phone call from the owner who said, I am selling the company. So normally when you're president of a company and the people who own the stock tell you they're selling the company, that's normally not very good news. However, the owner, who, Mr. Walker had some pretty good plans because he essentially told him, I want to sell the company to you, and now he's the owner. So congratulations to Oldsmar Business of the Quarter, presented to MI Metals 2020 third quarter. Thank you, sir.
Just want to say that it's been a pleasure for me to be here in Oldsmar for the past 17 years, watching the city grow. And, I'd like to welcome any of you to come out and do a plant tour anytime and see what we do back there. A lot of people don't know we're back there, but it's actually, if I may be a little humble, it's pretty impressive. Yeah. So
It is extremely impressive. Here, let's get a photo op in here.
Your mask?
Oh, man.
It's worth it.
got it.
Got it.
Have it for the photo.
That's right. I'm supposed to have it anyhow, but
Can't use
Police won't allow it out.
I would.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Outstanding.
Good job, Mayor.
Yeah, and if you ever have the opportunity, go out and look at the plant, go through the walkthrough. It is extremely impressive what they have going on there and the amount of product that they produce. It always makes you proud when you're here in Oldsmar, you're like, right here in Oldsmar. So, but
Mayor, could I add
Go
just
right ahead, go right
a couple quick things that I've been there a couple of times, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brooke, but the grandstands that are put in at the Daytona International Speedway, they didn't actually put them in, but that's the extrusion. They did all, if I'm correct, right? They did all the extrusion of all the metal bleachers that are over there, and then coincidentally, one of the pieces we saw in their conference room was that round, I'm sure it's got a technical name, but he said, oh, we use that in car washes. Well, last week or the week before, we went to the car wash on Tampa Road, saw exactly that thing that you were talking about, where all those little flappy things, they make I don't know if you made that one, but you make that flappy thing.
that flappy thing, we're in the middle of the car wash doing our visit and
Yeah.
and the mayor, former mayor points out, he goes, hey, MI Metals, flappy thing. Anyway.
That's amazing.
All right, moving on. Next item on the agenda is the Community Redevelopment Agency, and we added 1.1, consider letter from development interest from Woodfield Development pursuant to our Oldsmar Land Development Code, section 14.7. You all will recall the first step to anybody who is interested in doing a development on city-owned property, especially here in the CRA. Their first step is to send a letter of interest to the city manager. As you all know, we received a letter from Woodfield, and we received that information. And so essentially, what we would do at this point is authorize the city manager to engage in negotiations with them and see where that goes. Anything they negotiate, of course, comes back to the city council. We do this way so that it lets the public know that there is some interest that's taking place and keeps it transparent. So the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
I will make that motion to authorize the city manager to enter into negotiations with Woodfield.
Very good. There is a
Second.
motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item on the agenda, consent docket. Item number 2, and I will call on our city clerk.
Item number 2, approve minutes of the October 20, 2020 City Council meeting.
That was a long one tonight. All right, Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item, City of Oldsmar, presentation of Arbor Day proclamation. And I believe our Councilmember Saraki will be making that presentation.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm holding in my hand here, Office of the Mayor of Oldsmar, Florida. How's your office doing?
My office is good. Trees in there.
All right, Arbor Day.
Fantastic.
Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for planting of trees, and whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, I, Councilmember Dan Saraki, for our mayor, Eric Seidel, the city of Oldsmar, Florida, do hereby proclaim November 11th, 2020 as Arbor Day in the city of Oldsmar. And I urge all citizens to support, to protect our trees and woodlands, and to support our city's urban forestry program. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees, to gladden hearts, and promote the well-being of this and future generations, dated November 3rd, 2020.
Outstanding. Good
All
job.
right.
Thank you.
Mask.
Going to present that to the Assistant City Manager.
Well done.
Plant trees.
Yeah.
We did a lot this year. We gave a lot away.
Gave a lot of trees away. All right, next item on the agenda is City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Item number 4 is the public hearing and the first reading of ordinance 2020-12. I just want to bring to your attention that there was a typographical error that we caught just before the meeting yesterday, I guess, was when I caught it. I just wanted to bring to your attention where it was on this particular ordinance before I read it. In the Exhibit A, the lot and block numbers were switched, so we corrected them. The ordinance itself was accurate. I just want to make sure that you knew the exhibit was revised. So I'll read ordinance 2020-12. This is an ordinance declaring the intention of the city of Oldsmar, Florida to annex certain real property located in section 22, township 28 south, range 16 east. Further described as lot 23, block 17, map of section number 1, West Oldsmar, parcel number 22, 28, 16, 9, 666, 0, 017, 0230, into the corporate limits of the city of Oldsmar, and providing for the effective date of this ordinance. That was the first reading of ordinance 2020-12 by title only.
Okay, very good. I want to remind all of the council members that our October 2nd meeting, we did update our rules of procedures. And so I took the liberty of make sure all of you had a copy of it. We're going to follow the new hearing procedures. And so with that, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
Moved.
I have a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. City manager remarks?
One at a time?
There you go.
Is there any presentation from staff? Seeing none. Is the applicant present? Anybody from the public wishes to speak on this item? With that, I will close the public hearing. And the applicant's not here. Any discussion among council? All right, sensing you're ready to vote, roll call.
Councilmember Norris?
Yes.
Councilmember Saraki?
Yes.
Councilmember Knapp?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gannon?
Yes.
Mayor Seidel?
Yes.
First reading of ordinance 2020-12, annexing 3152 Huron Avenue into the corporate limits of the city of Baltimore, passes with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Item number 5 on the agenda is ordinance 2020-13. This is the first reading. I'll read it by title only. An ordinance declaring the intention of the city of Oldsmar, Florida to annex certain real property located in section 22, township 28 south, range 16 east, further described as lot 26, block 17, map of section number 1, West Oldsmar, parcel number 22, 28, 16, 96660, 017, 0260, into the corporate limits of the city of Oldsmar, and providing for effective date of this ordinance. That was the first reading of ordinance 2020-13.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. City manager remarks?
No, sir.
No presentation from staff. Applicant present? No? I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak on these items? I will go ahead and close the public hearing. Any council discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Norris?
Yes.
Councilmember Saraki?
Yes.
Councilmember Knapp?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gannon?
Yes.
Mayor Seidel?
Yes.
First reading of ordinance 2020-13, annexing 3140 Huron Avenue into the corporate limits of the city of Baltimore, passes with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Item 6.
Item 6 is ordinance 2020-14. I'll read that by title only. An ordinance declaring the intention of the city of Oldsmar, Florida to annex certain real property located in section 22, township 28 south, range 16 east, further described as lot 21, block 17, map of section number 1 west Oldsmar, parcel number 222816966001702010, into the corporate limits of the city of Oldsmar, providing for the effective date of this ordinance. That was the first reading of ordinance 2020-14 by title only.
Thank you. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second? Vice Mayor? City Manager?
No, sir.
No staff presentation. Applicants are not present. I'll open the public hearing. Is there anybody from the public who wishes to speak on this? I will go ahead and close the public hearing. The applicant is not here. Any council discussion?
No, sir.
Sense and you're ready to vote. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Norris?
Yes.
Councilmember Saraki?
Yes.
Councilmember Knapp?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gannon?
Yes.
Mayor Seidel?
Yes.
First reading of ordinance 2020-14, annexing 3160 Huron Avenue into the corporate limits of the city of Baltimore, passes with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Item number 7 is a public hearing and first reading of ordinance 2020-15. I'll read that by title only. An ordinance declaring the intention of the city of Oldsmar, Florida to annex certain real property located in section 22, township 28 south, range 16 east, further described as lot 20, block 17, map of section number 1 west Oldsmar, parcel number 222816966001702010, into the corporate limits of the city of Oldsmar, providing for an effective date of this ordinance. That was the first reading of ordinance 2020-15 by title only.
Thank you. The chair will entertain a motion to approve. I have a motion.
Second.
Do I have a second? I have a second. Any remarks from the city manager?
No, sir.
No staff presentation. Applicant is not present. I will open the public hearing. Is there anybody who wishes to speak on this item? Seeing that there's not, we'll close the public hearing. There's no applicant here for a closing statement. Council discussion.
No, Mayor.
No, sir.
Sense and you're ready to vote. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Norris?
Yes.
Councilmember Saraki?
Yes.
Councilmember Knapp?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gannon?
Yes.
Mayor Seidel? First reading of ordinance 2020-15, annexing 3164 Huron Avenue into the corporate limits of the city of Oldsmar, passes with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Item number 8 is the public hearing and first reading of ordinance 2020-16. I'll read it by title only. An ordinance declaring the intention of the city of Oldsmar, Florida to annex certain real property located in section 22, township 28 south, range 16 east, further described as lot 5, block 10, map of section number 1 west Oldsmar, parcel number 222816966600100050, into the corporate limits of the city of Oldsmar, and providing for the effective date of this ordinance. That was the first reading of ordinance 2020-16 by title only.
Thank you. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. City manager remarks.
No, sir.
Presentation from staff. Applicants not present. I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this item? Seeing there's not, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. The applicant is not here for any closing statements. Council discussion.
No,
No,
sir.
Mayor.
Sense and you're ready to vote? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Norris?
Yes.
Councilmember Saraki?
Yes.
Councilmember Knapp?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gannon?
Yes.
Mayor Seidel?
Yes.
First reading of ordinance 2020-16, annexing West Oldsmar, Section 1, Block 10, Lot 5, into the corporate limits of the city of Oldsmar, passes with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Item number 9, this is a public hearing, first reading of ordinance 2020-17. I'll read that by title only. An ordinance declaring the intention of the city of Oldsmar, Florida to annex certain real property located in section 22, township 28 south, range 16 east, further described as lot 4, block 1, map of section number 1 west Oldsmar, parcel number 222816966600100040, into the corporate limits of the city of Oldsmar, and providing for the effective date of this ordinance. That was the first reading of ordinance 2020-17 by title only.
Thank you. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
So
Second.
moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. City manager.
No, sir.
Staff presentation? None? Applicant present? No? I'll open the public hearing. Is there anybody who wishes to speak on this item from the public? Seeing that there's not, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. No applicant for closing statement. Council discussion?
No, Mayor.
Sense and you're ready to vote? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Norris?
Yes.
Councilmember Saraki?
Yes.
Councilmember Knapp?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gannon?
Yes.
Mayor Seidel?
Yes.
First reading of ordinance 2020-17, annexing 3675 Shore Boulevard into the corporate limits of the city of Oldsmar, passes with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Thank you.
This is very efficient, Mayor. Your little list.
Added agenda item under 9.1, this is dealing with the Land Development Code, Section 3.15.1. You should have in your packet or having on the dais a memorandum that came from the city manager relative to this particular code section. It provides, under the application requirements of zoning map changes, that there be no application that can be submitted within a 12-month timeframe of one previously being submitted. This requires specifically that the process be completed in its entirety before any action can be taken. The 12 months is a provision in the code that has been in there some time. There has been a request that this provision be changed to allow some more clarity with regard to what the 12-month timeframe actually is. Is it just from the filing? Is it when a certain action takes place? I had suggested that the code section read or require that it have to be acted upon by the city council for the 12-month prohibition to be in play, so that applicants can file applications and go through the process and withdraw them if they feel that it is not something that they want to move forward on before it gets to the council, and then bring it back again within that 12-month period of time. So I'm asking for authorization to amend section 3.15.1 of the code, specifically paragraph 2, to allow for action by the city council within that period of time, so that the 12-month prohibition would not keep applications out of the pipeline if they're filed and not acted upon by the city council. So I'll prepare that ordinance, if that is your will, and bring it back to you at the next regular commission meeting or council meeting for the first reading.
Okay. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. I have a second. Is there any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. So you have anything else, sir? Thank you. Thank you. City manager, item number 10.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 10 is the request council approval.
Can I stop you for one moment? I just wanted to make a comment real quick before we do that. As it relates to the new rules of procedures on the public hearing, and I'm going to ask that we put this as a future item to look at. When you look at this process, I believe it's flawed, and let me tell you why. Because the first thing out of the chute requires a motion after the reading, which implies, or not implies, via Robert's rules, if no one makes a motion, it's dead. There's nothing to discuss. The discussion's over. We go on to the next agenda item, okay? The problem with that in a public hearing is there may be an item that's been requested by the public to be put on an agenda. We put it on an agenda. If nobody supports it, the public doesn't get to speak. The other thing that's problematic about it is in our own procedures that we tell the public at the open forum, if it's a public hearing on the agenda, please save your comments till that time.
And if nobody makes a motion.
And if no one makes a motion, the item's dead. We won't go any further with it because we're not going to vote on anything, right? And so the way we had always done this in the past prior to us making those changes, as soon as the ordinance was read, we would go right to public comment. And then after public comment and staff presentation, whether staff was reading something into the minutes, then in the end, we would go back to then a motion and then discussion amongst the council. And so I'm going to ask that our city attorney take a look at that and maybe bring something back, or we agenda it for a discussion. It's just something that caught my attention because typically speaking, from a Robert's Rules standpoint, if there's no motion, there's nothing to discuss. We move on, right? So I just thought I'd mention that. All right, next item on the agenda, city manager, item number 10.
Mayor, item 10 is request council approval to waive bid requirements and award the annual purchase of polymer for the water reclamation facility to the KED Group Incorporated under the same terms and conditions as the city of Titusville, Florida, contract number 19-B-042 on piggyback form 20-011. Polymer is a chemical of proprietary formula used in the dewatering process for biosolids. The contract will be awarded under the same terms and conditions as the City of Titusville, Florida bid, as mentioned previously. The original City of Titusville contract was valid through November 20th, year 2020, and has been extended through November 2021, with 3 more optional 1-year renewal periods available. The contract provides for polymer supply at the original unit price of $1.34 per pound for the first year, and increases by 6 cents per pound for each subsequent contract year for a price total of $1.40 for this second contract year. The city's water reclamation facility's projected annual polymer requirement equates to an estimate of an annual contract cost of $45,000. The funding is available in the 401 fund, and staff recommends approval.
Thank you. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. Any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Item 11.
Request council approve to waive the bid requirements and award the contract for environmental monitoring services to Green and Pederson, Inc., under the same terms and conditions as the Southwest Florida Water Management District Contract number 19C N0001956 on piggyback form 20-004. GPI has satisfactorily performed the regulatory required environmental services for the Oldsmar reverse osmosis water plant for multiple years. GPI performs all necessary field monitoring throughout the year, as well as produces the required annual reporting to the necessary regulatory agencies. Based on GPI's monitoring and documentation, a portion of wetland mitigation monitoring that was required by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has been deemed successful, and the monitoring reporting was discontinued by FDEP and the Army Corps in 2018 and 2020, respectively. This effort to close these two permits by GPI has reduced their fee to the city by approximately $11,000 per year. The contract, valid through April 4th of year 2024, provides environmental monitoring services related to the RO plant as required by the city's approved environmental monitoring plan dated November 2005 and detailed in Special Condition 14 of the Swift Mode Water Use Permit 2001-1218. The lump sum consultant fee, of $39,462.71 for this scope of work is to be paid from the 401 fund, and staff recommends approval.
All right, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Item 12.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 12 is request council authorization for the city manager to advertise 2021-001 RFQ professional services for local agency program administration and construction, engineering, and inspection for the Oldsmar Trail Phase 6 project. The Oldsmar Trail Phase 6 project, also known as the Douglas Trail, is intended to build a multi-use pedestrian cycling trail. This segment of the project was designed by Cardinal Incorporated and will include constructing a half-mile trail on the north side of Douglas Road from Stevens Avenue to Racetrack Road, and will also convert the existing open ditch drainage system on the north side to a closed pipe system. The project will also include some relocation or realignment of the existing city-owned utilities on the north side of the road as necessary as a result of the construction of this project. This project is funded by the Federal Highway Administration Local Agency Program, or what we know as LAP. Therefore, third-party construction engineering inspection is required. This request for qualifications will be for professional services to assist city staff with the administration of the FDOT Local Agency Program, funding compliance, as well as construction engineering and inspection over the site of construction contract. The funding for these professional services is included in the 2021 capital budget, Fund 302. The staff recommends approval.
Thank you. The chair will entertain a motion to approve. Moved. I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Chris, right? Mm-hmm. All right, since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Anything else, sir?
No, sir, thank you.
All right. City Clerk?
Oh, I don't have anything.
All right, very good. City Council, item 13, consider City Clerk's annual compensation. As you know, every year, all of us we do an annual review, and based on one of the questions in the review, whether or not the staff, this will be the same for the next ones, for the city manager, so I won't completely repeat myself. If we have 3 who agree, they are then entitled to some of the same increase in compensation as our cost of living, I think it is, or merit pay rather, which is 3%. And so there were a minimum of 3 that said good things, and I am absolutely not surprised because they do a terrific job. So with that, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the city clerk's annual compensation increase of 3%.
Enthusiastic motion.
And second, enthusiastic second.
A motion and a second. Discussion.
Thank you, Ann.
Thank you for all your hard work, Ann.
Thank
Very
you.
well deserved. Very well deserved. All right, since
a
you're ready
year.
to vote, all in favor signify by saying "and."
Ann.
All opposed, motion passes. Item number 14, along the same lines, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the city manager's annual compensation increase of 3%.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I have a motion. Do
I'll
I have a
second that
second? A
motion.
motion and a second. Discussion? I don't even know how this got on the damn agenda. And, God, I knew it would be a train tonight.
With my
so-
enthusiastic support.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, I'm just giving a hard time. It's well deserved.
He anticipates that, don't worry.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have respect me if I didn't do that. So, since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, motion passes. Congratulations, you two.
Thank you.
Well deserved, very well deserved. All right, next item on the agenda, approve the tentative agenda for November 17th, 2020. Does anybody wish to pull anything from the tentative agenda?
No, sir.
Anybody wish to add anything to the tentative agenda? Councilmember Knapp?
I'd like to add the presentation of the Council Manager Award for October 2020 to the tentative agenda, please.
Okay, so noted. Anyone else? Anything else?
Mayor, are we going to add that ordinance that we just discussed under item 9.1?
Oh, yes.
Yes, all right, so we would then add, in addition to the backlog of city council, city manager award, council member, city manager award, we would add a code amendment, zoning map amendment application requirements. Close enough.
Under
All right.
city manager.
All right, is there anything else? All right, the chair will entertain a motion to approve as amended.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Councilmember Norris. Council comments.
Oh, I'm gonna, wow. There's just a couple of things. I just wanted to point out, veterans items, that this month is National Family and Military, National Families and Military Families Month. So I wanted to also give you guys all, if you could pass this down, Dan. This weekend, there's like 3 different things going on at Frankie's Grill. Frankie's Patriot Grill at the Tarpon Woods, the golf course there. The Purple Heart Golf Tournament is Saturday. The Heartstrings for Heroes is Sunday. And the Poppy Drive for the VFW Auxiliary is both Saturday and Sunday. So if you guys would like to just come and show your support, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of good veterans things going on there this weekend.
Very cool.
And that, I wanted to keep it short, so that's all I got.
Very good. Sounds like a good time over there. Councilmember Saraki.
Thank you, Mayor. I only have one thing. East Lake Oaks had their annual Halloween trick or treat night, and we only had about 50% of the kids this year. Just wanted to give you an update. There was about 350 kids that showed up. Mainly all of them had their parents this year. Usually there's a mix of kids running around without parents, but this year all the parents were there, and that's all I've got.
Very good. Well, that's good. I think it's smart, measured. Councilmember Knapp.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have one thing. I just wanted to leave general comments about Election Day today. I know that regardless of the outcome in all the races that were active today, that we're all going to still continue to do good things for the city of Oldsmar. You know, we live in the United States, not the divided states. And so I kind of challenge everybody to do something that you may disagree with someone about. Go do something nice for them. Do something that unites us instead of divides us. And I will leave it with that. Thank
Very
you.
good.
Amen.
Excellent. Good. Well said. Vice Mayor.
I wanted to congratulate all the participants in the, there we go, Aladdin Junior production. We attended that, Councilmember Knapp and I, as well as the city manager and the assistant city manager and our leisure services director, Chip, and his staff, Bryn Frazier. Fantastic performance, very well attended. I was very surprised to see so many people there. There was I think the final count was 570. Initially, it was 520, and then it was 570. And I mean, the park was full, but spaced and safe. People were wearing masks. The leisure services staff did an incredible job assisting people in parking, assisting with the production and setup and breakdown. I was really proud of the city staff, and of course, incredibly proud of all the kids who participated. So great job to the Opal Theater crew, and a big shout out to the Women's Club of Oldsmar members who helped sew the costumes for all of those little kids. And one little announcement, I am happy and proud to announce that I will be a member of Leadership Pinellas class of 2024.
Hey, all right.
So I just wanted to thank all of you for your support. I look forward to providing lots of feedback on this sort of new format that we're doing in the springtime as opposed to over the course of the fall. The first retreat will be December 4th and 5th, so it'll begin then and then continue in the springtime through April, hopefully with a visit to Tallahassee, but we'll see based on COVID and everything. So very exciting. Thank you all for your support.
Well,
I really
congratulations. That's very cool. We're proud of you. We're proud of you. All right, I have a few items. Number one, let me echo the sentiments on the Aladdin Jr. Play that was put on. The production I heard was terrific. I think if you think about it, they probably set a great example of how you can socially distance out there and still have a good time. I was at a family wedding, so I could not attend, but I heard it was terrific. I've gotten nothing but rave reviews about it. So hats off to all the volunteers who helped put that on. And certainly Suda and Hector who worked so hard on that, and all the families who get involved in it. I also wanted to make a point of recognizing the city staff for the outstanding job they did on the Halloween drive-through event.
Oh,
I have heard so many great things about that as well. Like we had over 1,000 people go through it. How many cars were? How many?
350?
350 cars.
I nearly forgot.
And all the people who participated in it from the business community and set up scenes, and I'll tell you what, that was such a winner. I have had people mention it to me. I was out at the polls today helping out, holding a sign for a friend of mine, and people were talking to me about it who stopped, who I knew, and who went to it, So I think that's a really, really nice effort in a unique situation. Kids get to go out and do something different that's safe, and I see this being a thing moving forward. I don't know where we're going to put all the cars. We're going to have to come up with some social distancing thing for that, but
I heard there was even a zombie clerk there.
I heard that.
Yes.
I received a picture, and she had told me what a
I can
rough week it had
confirm.
been, so,
Thank
City
you.
manager.
Sir, I'm sure I'm going to make somebody mad by saying this, but as an attendee of that event, I'd say the city's employees station or whatever was the best of all. And if we were giving an MVP for the performance of the evening, it was somebody who was playing in the back of our Band-Aid box.
Very
And
good.
you tried to wave to her to say hello, and she was in character and she wasn't coming out. It was just like for 2 hours, but it was quite a performance.
That's outstanding, outstanding.
That's the
Well,
level of
please
commitment we've got.
thank the staff and everybody who worked on that, because that was a big home run as well. And it just shows how creative our staff can be in these strange times to make them normal, right? New normal, make it fun normal, whatever. All right, listen, I want to bring up a subject that I know is not going to be popular, but I'm going to bring it up anyhow. I know we canceled the meeting for December 15th. We have all kinds of stuff happening. Normally, that second meeting is just as dead as a doornail, which is why we cancel it. But as you know, we have the Simone Group, and they're going through their process. We have other things out there that these are items that require different public readings and so forth. And taking away that meeting makes it difficult to keep the train rolling. So I would like to propose that, assuming that people haven't already booked themselves to be in Timbuktu, I know that the city manager has, but I would propose that we maybe go back and reconsider the tentative agenda and add the December 15th on there, so that at that time, if it looks like there are some important items that we need to keep moving forward, we can motion to reconsider and add the meeting back. And it can be a very light meeting, doesn't have to be, heavy, but it would, not represent any kind of special treatment. It would just essentially allow us to keep the train rolling on some of the things that we have going on. And I think it might be important. So if we were to do that, let me just kind of get a consensus, who's in town and who's not.
I'm in town.
Are you available?
I believe I am available, yes.
Okay.
In town and available.
I'm in town and available.
In town available.
Okay, all right, so then it would really become a discussion for later. We don't have to have it right now, because I don't want you to cancel your trip,
No,
right?
Already did.
no, you did not.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I'll be there.
All right.
I'll be wherever you need me. If you have it, I'll be here.
We're gonna talk about that later.
Hey, Carla's gonna be mad at you guys, not me. What do I care?
Is that not something that
question, Mayor.
Felicia could
All
do?
right, so here's what I would do, because we don't have to make that decision right now, because we may not be in a position where things are ready to be discussed. I believe they will be. We've got a lot going on. Look, all of a sudden, as we all know, we're getting approached. The development world's going crazy. I don't know if was that present an issue for our city attorney?
No, I'll be here.
What
City
about,
clerk? Okay, everybody
Yeah, I
looks
have
so
a
happy. They're all looking at
I
the
was
mayor
gonna say,
going like,
nobody
wow.
was-
I have a
dang
question,
it,
Mayor.
yes.
And Al, can Felicia
That
fit
was
in
my
for you as
question.
the assistant city manager? Is that acceptable?
I'll let you know.
Yeah, see, and that's why I did,
She's certainly capable.
yeah, she's certainly capable.
We'll see how it plays out.
We'll
but
see how
it'll
it
get
plays out.
covered
All right,
either way.
so here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to entertain a motion to reconsider the tentative agenda for November 17th.
moved?
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? Since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, so we're going to go back to that item, and we're going to add the two items we did previously, and I would also like to add to the agenda discuss the December 15th city council meeting. Is that okay? So the chair will entertain a motion to approve that as amended.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Motion passes. All right, thank you. Hate to do it, I really do, but, I have all kinds of stuff going on at that time as well, but I just think we might need to, All right, last thing I got on the agenda, on my to-do list is kind of along the same lines as what Andrew talked about. I've said this many times, and I know all of us agree on this, right? The best part about serving on the local city level and the local level is that it's nonpartisan. We put things aside. When we don't agree, we don't agree. We discuss it. We vote on it. We take from each other. We do that, and we do it well, I think. It's why we get a lot of stuff done. I can't speak for every city, but I know about our city. And so it's a great example. And, look, elections, no matter if your person wins, your person loses, guess what? The sun will come up in the morning. We're all going to be Americans still, and we will all figure it out. And, this country has a tendency to go back and forth, which kind of keeps it down the center. And so I think there are some who probably feel good about that. But regardless, we'll all be Americans in the morning. And so happy elections. With that, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Does it require a vote? We're adjourned.